Hey Mariah, Madonna here, and we've got Renergy today as our surrogate. So let's see what we find for you and help to pick up that energy and clear some of this stuff you've got building up in your body. So let's have a play. Oops. Need your head in there, darling. Cool. Okay. Full moon. Blue moon. Now I'll have to check out RX astrology. Any idea what that does for us?
Just reminds me of the Smurfs moon. Magical moon.
Beautiful blue moon today. Time to get your Smurf on. Okay, so I am 100% Mariah. I am 100% Mariah. Okay, is there anything in the unconscious, subconscious, conscious that's going to stop us working on Mariah's energy? No, beautiful. Okay, so where do we need to start for this body? Are they linked? Okay, so the base chakra is blown at the moment, so I'm going to stack that in, and then there's a hidden deep survival, so we're just going to kick on in and get started there. The base chakra connects to the sphenoid bone and the coccyx, and it's around survival, feeling grounded, feeling safe. So when we're not feeling grounded and safe, we feel flighty and reactive, and we're less likely to be able to make the best decisions, choose the best choices. So let's stack that in, the coccyx and the sphenoid. And we'll see whether it's in first, second or third stage stress for you. So it's second stage stress, so your body's working really hard to stay switched on. Now the hidden deep survival, and hold, yeah. Okay, so in relation to this combination, they're connected, yep. Is there a psychological reversal pattern? Yes, there is. Want, need, think, safe, believe, deserve, trust, and no surprising, that's about safety. It is safe to let go of this problem. And hold, negatory. It is safer to keep this problem. And hold, beautiful. Oh, how's your back? Do you need to do that under your knees?
No, I'm good.
You're good? Cool, cool. Okay, so do we need to go into PVSS, or is there something else we need to add in before we get going? No, so PVSS. So the periventricular survival system is around the relationship of our nervous system to our survival pattern. So what we're seeing, what we're hearing, what we're feeling in our body. As well as our sixth sense. So when we start losing our ability to feel our way in the world and understand what's going on, we can lose our sixth sense, and then we're more likely just to be in our head. And hold out. So there's something in there that's switching off your pleasure and reward centers. So the nervous system, when we're in survival and when we've got hidden deep survival going and we don't feel safe and secure, then the nervous system doesn't want you to relax and be happy. So it's switching off your ability to just relax and be happy easily. And this is often when people get started, they can do it, so they get with friends and they actually can have a good time, or they can get with family and, have a good time. But sometimes it takes a little bit to just calm those survival patterns down so that you feel safe and comfortable enough to enjoy yourself. But it's sort of like a double process. You have to unwind yourself when you get there, and then you have to build up your ability to relax. Oh, interesting. So the vestigial nucleus, it's a part of the cerebellum, and it's to do with our balance in time and space in the world. So quite often when this little area is activated, sometimes our balance mechanisms aren't awesome, or so it basically means that we're not center, but different from our celestial circuit, which may or may not show up. So I'm going to check some structural balance stuff in your body at the moment. So turning the feet into the center, just relaxing. And it's a right-sided gait. The right toe is about 3 inches higher than the left, so about 9 centimeters higher on one side than the other, which means there's a right-sided gait. So energetically, your nervous system is out the door. Let's check the hands. Fingers outstretched. Yeah, right. And that's out by about 2 centimeters on the right again, which means it's more tense on the left, which is actually in fight. So because it's opposite, which means that, you know, the nervous system, or is that right? No, maybe it's flight actually, because it's tighter here and tighter here, so it's more that, yeah. Running out the door. No, that's a feel. Can't see it in there. A fraction. Okay, so what else do we need to check? Do we need to check any of the pecs or the femurs? Left femur. Hold. But not the right femur? No. Okay. So we'll just pop the little left femur back in. So that sort of means the left hip flexor has unlocked, so you can get out the door nice and quickly. Oh. Okay, so the reticular activating system has shown up, and in this circuitry it's to do with the low serotonin creating vigilance in the nervous system. So you can imagine when we are getting migraines and headaches and things like that, there's a lot of compression on the skull, and that can come from something called body armoring. So right from the tailbone all the way up the spine and all the way around the skull, all of that can be compressed. Pardon? Body armoring, yeah. So the body's trying to deliberately protect itself by making everything really compressed, including the skull bones. And our skull bones are supposed to gently be moving all day, every day, to allow cerebrospinal fluid basically smother the brain. So when the skull bones are too tight, there's a herb called feverfew, and feverfew is one of the herbs that long term can help. Actually, there's another one as well. Wood betony. So I forgot what it was called for a sec. So wood betony and feverfew are two herbs that are really good for migraines long term. Hope things aren't too crazy in the US where you are. Yeah, one of my students in the Kinesiology Foundations at the moment is from Maui. He's very busy, and he's been doing some of the volunteer firefighting.
Oh, okay.
Just devastating.
In the Hawaiian Islands?
The number one thing we remember about Maui is a little cafe we went to, and Jason got the best peanut butter milkshake he's ever had. And it was this cool little restaurant, a cool little cafe, something about a monkey. And when you ordered a milkshake, you got the whole big 60s milkshake, and then you got 2 glasses, so you filled up, yeah, or maybe they gave you a glass one, they filled, but you basically got 2 full milkshakes for the price of one. Thick as anything, filled with peanut. He just loved it. You could stand the straw straight up, which is the way he loves it.
Super thick shake.
Most calories in the world per per square centimetre. And another one of my kinesiology students, clients, she was in Maui, like literally the day before the fires.
Oh, wow.
So she's moved to Florida.
When did they begin?
Is it a couple of weeks now? I'm not sure. Feels like forever we've been seeing the footage over here. It's phenomenal. And devastating, you know, it's just shocking. Crazy times on the planet. The funniest headline though, you know, with the fact checkers was saying that Dew soft drink did not cause the fires in Maui. I'll explain that one later if you haven't seen it. So because of that compression, I'm actually going to do a little bit of compression on your skull and your shoulders. Just so imagine yourself compressing from the tip of your head down to your tailbone as I'm doing this. So I'm just going to compress the skull towards the body, and then I'm going to stretch it out as well. So this is stretching the dura as well. And then I'm going to compress it again, Mariah. And then stretch again. So what we're doing is getting the energy around your skull when you get these migraines. So I'll just stack in some muscles of the neck. There's little spots at the back of the skull called the labyrinthine reflex points. They help to center your head on your neck, on your shoulders. And also stretch your cranials.
That's quite firm. It feels good.
Well, most people can cope with it fairly firmly. See if there's any amygdala energy in there. Yeah. So there's a pain and punishment circuit in there in relation to all that skull and neck stuff we just did. Now, pain and punishment circuitry, that's sort of where my little memory trigger is. There any family involvement in this long-term pattern? Yes, there is. Okay. Is there stuff that we can look at in relation to family now? Is there something we can delve into down the track? Delve down the track. Okay. So we don't need to do that to clear this little pattern, but we'll get in there. Okay, with that compression, the reticular activating system's showing up again. So that's the part of the brain, when something new is happening in our world, it decides what hormones we're going to release. So are we the sort of optimistic person, so therefore it releases plenty of serotonin and dopamine? Or if we're fearful and stressed and skeptical, are we going to release stress hormones because there's an assumption that something's going to go wrong? So this is noradrenaline, which is to do with long-term stress, and the kidney 1 points are showing up in this circuit, which means that when something new is going on in your life, your unconscious brain is automatically assuming there's going to be long-term stress associated with something new, and then your brain is switching on your ability to focus on everything, which is exhausting for our brain because we're looking for the next thing to go wrong. Yeah, right, there's still another RAS circuit. Interesting. Okay, so this time it's low serotonin. Yeah, right. And large intestine 20s are showing up, which means that your nervous system hits this spot where it deliberately switches off your serotonin because it doesn't want you to relax and be happy. And these points either side of the nose are to do with wanting to go hide away, needing your space, needing your time, needing your ability to chillax and bring yourself back down to balance again. Yeah, right. So throat chakra just blew. So throat chakra connects to the parietal. So we just gave them a bit of a stretch before. So the parietal skull bones are these little guys here. So when you stretch apart at the top of the skull, it starts allowing energy to get to your logical and creative hemispheres of your brain. But throat chakra is about speaking your truth. And when we are suppressed and intimidated and we don't speak our truth, our throat chakra and therefore our thyroid down the track can have issues. I heard today, that I didn't know, that thyroid cancers are one of the few cancers where they don't actually have the stages 2, 3, 4, 5. People just get thyroid cancer. Anyway, so I'm sure they'll be able to name it and number it and scare the crap out of us at some stage. But so throat chakra, thyroid, and hyoid bone, this little bone in here. So it's the hyoid bone. Basically where the Adam's apple is on men. But yeah, that little trio. Let's see where it's sitting. Hold. Hold. Okay, so that little combination is in second stage stress. So speaking your truth, it can do it, but it's hard work. It's overworking, trying to make sure you get to speak your truth, which, as you can imagine, is exhausting. Okay, fastigial nucleus is still showing up, so that's that area to do with the being out of kilter. I'm also going to check your little foot proprioceptors. Oh, okay, so they're also not working. Let's check the 8th chakra underneath the feet also. Okay, so the balance down here isn't great, so let's just switch the camera angle for a sec. Because I'm going to be down at the feet for a few minutes. So the foot proprioceptors on the bottom of the feet, and this is something you can do every day, but you just give from the center of the ball of the foot, you're going out towards the toes and out towards the side of the body in all directions. So it's a really firm movement. And every time you rub your feet in these directions, you're switching on the foot proprioceptors that talk to 600 muscles in your body. If we're really out of kilter with something like cerebellum issues or cerebral palsy or something going on like that, or quadriplegic or paraplegic or something, these could be done every day or even morning and night, you know, just to keep ourselves switched on. If we're constantly indoors and wearing shoes that are non-grounding, so plastic and that sort of thing, then we may just never feel grounded from the bottom of our feet. And the toes, the reason it's important for you with migraines is that the toes themselves in reflexology are to do with the neck and the head. So by wiggling and pulling each of those toes in turn, we're helping to switch on the muscles to do with our head and our neck and our shoulders. So it's a pretty cool thing to spend a minute a day doing. So firmly pushing those foot proprioceptors in all directions. Then twisting and pulling each of those toes in turn to wake up those ligaments, tendons, muscles, connective tissue to do with the neck and the head and the brain. Oh, and these little spots on the top of the feet between each one of the toes, those are neurolymphatic points. And the neurolymphatic points also help our balance mechanisms. And because we've got the gate in circuit, because it doesn't really do much if you don't have an intention. So in kinesiology, there sort of needs to be an intention for things to be balanced. So when you are rubbing those spots, it's helping, once again, the neurolymphatics of our balancing mechanisms. So the connection between the lymphatic system and the neurological system. So let's check the foot proprioceptors again. Hold, good. And 8th chakra, hold. No, it still needs something differently, isn't it? Interesting. So the 8th chakra, I'll just stack in the other coordinates for that as well. So the 8th chakra connects to the ethmoid bone and the adrenals. It helps to integrate the other 7 chakras. And one of my ladies in my Kinesi Foundations group made the comment that she's been a kinesiologist for quite some time, but she's found that this 8th chakra has been out so much in the last 3.5 years. It's like everyone's chakras are just totally discombobulated on the planet at the moment. So stack in those little guys, stack in the adrenals, and you can't see it, but I'm going to go into Renergy's ethmoid bone in here. So it's sort of in the center of the, around those sinuses centrally. So once again, is this in 1st, 2nd or 3rd stage stress? Hold. Okay, so it's either 1st or 3rd stage stress. Hold. Yeah, right, that's 3rd stage stress. That's quite out of balance, your 8th chakra. So do we just need to hold them, or do we need to do something else? We need to do something else. Do we need to do ESR, oscillation chakra, essence? Okay, so let's go have a look. Okay, there's an Australian bush flower essence, jacaranda. Jacaranda is, well, here in Australia there's jacaranda trees. I don't know if you have them where you are, but they are a beautiful purple flower, and they're to do with feeling scattered, not feeling grounded, not feeling like you can make decisions. And once again, when we've got, and you know, that we know there's a family connection because it said that before, and we'll get to that. But with the jacaranda flower, it's to do with so once again, if we've got survival patterns in there and our body is constantly assuming that everything new is wrong, we're never going to be able to make a decision. Because if the nervous system's going, no, anything new gives me long-term stress, or if the nervous system goes, I need to go run away as soon as I've got some noradrenaline going, or if I need to focus on everything new so that I don't make the wrong decision. How hard is it to make decisions and move around easily and calmly in life when that is going on all the time? So there's a paragraph that it's asking me to read for you. Jacaranda is similar to Black-Eyed Susan, as both types of people undertake many different projects. But the Black-Eyed Susan type is full of energy and focuses on getting things done, quite often more than one project at the same time, whereas the Jacaranda type tackles just as many projects but lacks focus. The projects remain in various stages of incompletion. The home of this person may have a half-painted room or a partly built set of shelves. Yet this type is enthusiastic, inspired, and filled with excitement at the idea of a project, just doesn't follow through. I feel like I'm a bit of both those, but certainly by 10 o'clock last night when my computer wasn't working, I had a bit of a hissy fit and hubby had to help me. So the two affirmations that are showing up for Jacaranda, yeah, they're both showing as being necessary, so we'll put them both into circuit. I make decisions easily and quickly. And hold. I am now clear-headed and quick thinking. And hold. Okay. Oh, now do we just need to have the drops? Or do we need to do something else with that energy? We need both. We need the drops and we need to do something else with that energy. Okay. Okay, so a few drops underneath the tongue. Cool, thank you. Okay. So more of the same, more of something else, more of something else. Tuning fork combo. Okay, so I might stop and start again just in case this affirmation is something you want to revisit.